It is round number 12 of the 2022 XCAL $5 Tuesdays series. We are at the South Boston Speedway, one of the most legendary short tracks in the United States. Tonight, it's the XCAL Racing Web Shop 333. Good evening, friends. Marty Sakala with you, motorsports broadcaster, alongside Doug Burns from How to Suck at iRacing. Doug, we've got a fun one tonight. Last time we were at a short track. It was a very exciting race at Lucas Oil Raceway where Jonathan Bronson took home the win. This week we are at South Boston Speedway. This is a track that can be really glitchy from time to time, but it still should put on a great show.
Always does. We've seen some exciting races here in the past, some races won and lost in the last 5 to 10 laps more than once, and it's going to definitely be an interesting race tonight. A lot of bumping and banging, a lot of door slamming. It's no holds barred.
Absolutely, it will be no holds barred tonight. If you missed us last week in our event that took place at the inaugural race, I should say, at Pocono Roval, it was Austin Edwards, who's very good on the road courses as well, taking home the win over Luke Turpin and Angel Ledesma, rounding out the top three. As we take a look at the point standings coming on in, Austin Edwards leads by just about 200 points on Luke Turpin at the moment. Then third, just about 80 points behind Turpin, is Alex Krapzer. 40 points behind is Blake Wynn, and fifth in points, 30 back, just about, is Kyle Bartles. Well, let's begin here by talking with some of our drivers here in advance for tonight. First driver we're going to talk with is the driver of the 454 in Luke Turpin. So Luke, as we enter this race, you are at a point where, as we're in round number 12, this is the farthest you've been back, obviously. We've known you for being a guy that's in the points lead for a lot of the season. Is there a way to get back up to the points lead just by out-driving Austin Edwards from this point on, or do you really have to hope for an Austin fail and yours to have a good finish?
There's a lot of racing left, Marty. I mean, we're kind of early in the season, first third, kind of out of the way now. Things can change quick. I've had big leads and they've gone away, and vice versa. So we'll just have to see how it all plays out.
You're starting from the 11th position tonight. What did you learn in heat racing that you can take towards our feature tonight?
I got a little unfortunate in the heat race, got taken out, but fortunately got put back to about 20th, give or take, and was able to drive it back up to third in a very short period of time. So I feel good, I feel confident that the car may not be the best car out there, but I feel like I can pick it up and take it where it needs to go.
All right, good luck to you tonight, Luke.
Thank you.
That's Luke Turpin in the 454, starting from 11th position tonight.
Hey, before we go any further with these interviews, I have to drop a personal happy birthday to my daughter Tessa, who is watching right now. So, happy birthday, buddy.
Absolutely. We're going to let you keep the mic for right now, Doug, as we're going to talk with Gerald Thanos-Poole. Gerald starting from 33rd position. Not a guy that's really been known for being able to qualify inside the top 5. Doug, you've got Thanos.
Hey, Gerald. The first question is, man, you've had problems getting qualified earlier in the season, but suddenly you've got something figured out. You're making every race. Do we see you pick up some spots here tonight?
We've had a really good setup this week. I mean, we really have, and I kind of feel like, I feel good. We've been fast late in the 50-lap runs, and seems to be we all kind of got different versions of the same thing. But yeah, I think we'll be doing well.
Now, we already have had a comment from the fans asking if you'll be able to finish this race. I'm guessing you know who that was from.
Yeah, there's always one in every crowd. Unfortunately, this one I have to sit with at Thanksgiving and Easter and Christmas and all that. So we'll come back around to that here in a couple 3 weeks.
Well, good luck tonight, man. It's great to see you back in the field, and I know you've been working extremely hard. And it's got to be said, the paint jobs you've been putting out for the team have been extraordinary, and I do believe something special out there tonight as well.
We're helping Mason out. He had to bury his brother here this past week. So we thought we'd all come out in support of him, and we're all running a big decal on the hoods of our car tonight. And, we want to wish him and his family and everybody the best. So that's from not only myself, but everybody from JNS.
Well, that is awesome. Your team did a great job. Looking at the hood of Alex Crapser's car right now, that is a beautiful sentiment. Thank you so much, and good luck tonight, buddy.
Thank you. We'll have fun. We'll talk to you later, maybe.
That's Gerald Thanos Poole. Thanos starting from 33rd tonight. We've been seeing a really big surprise contender as well this season, and that is Kyle Bartels in the number 88. Bartels starts from the 18th position tonight. Bartels, tell us a little bit more about yourself. You drive for Robert Colgan, obviously, but tell us a little bit more yourself when it comes to XCAL.
Oh, man. Robert's the one that got me into XCAL late last year, and came in as a part-timer, and Jeff had to go work, and I raced for Jeff's car for about a month, and ever since then, over the off-season, we thought about him making his own team and just bringing me on, and ever since then, I became a full-time driver and just got more comfortable week in and week out, and it shows it from the points, and I give credit all to Robert Colgan making the setups. It's not the fastest setup, but always comes in at the later in the run. 18th
starting spot for you tonight. What are you expecting in this one?
Take your time, Marty. I mean, at 333 laps at a short track, take your time, stay out of trouble. I'm right in the middle of that pack, and one person I'm really to see is Art. He was really fast last night in the last heat, and a little slow in practice for some reason, but man, how he practiced last night and later in the run, cooler temperature on the track and in the air, he's got a top 10 car, so I got to watch out for him. Turpin, of course, and Edwards and all those guys. So yeah, it's top 10, top 5, even to win is good goal tonight. So just shout out Colgan Enterprise.
Good luck tonight, Kyle.
Thank you, Marty.
Kyle mentioned, by the way, in Art, he was talking about Art Hendren, who had by far his best start of the year on a short track. He's normally a mid-pack rear of the field driver. Qualified in 10th with a 15.974. The K2 Motorsports drivers will be threats tonight. First off, you got Aiden Kaiser starting in 6th spot, and then you've got Art Hendren starting in 10th position, and also Kyle Keller making his XCAL debut in the 37, starting in 8th, Doug.
Yeah, and this is a track that is known for a lot of first-time winners here, and a few guys coming close to wins, getting it robbed from them at the last minute. So we could see a first-time winner here. We could see a big heartbreak before tonight is over as the guys come down to the last minute or so of practice. Take a moment and hit the share button.
Absolutely. We'd like to welcome in, by the way, a new sponsor to XCAL Racing. That is Fuel Factor X. Fuel Factor will be sponsoring our victory lane. Let's introduce the man in charge of Fuel Factor X. That is Michael DiCarlo. Michael, welcome to XCAL Racing. I'll let Doug take it from here.
First off, Michael, thanks for the sponsorship. I know everybody's very excited, and some lucky winner is going to be joining your victory lane tonight.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be here. I'm looking forward to being around XCAL for a little while and really enjoying the time with the guys. Fuel Factor X has just come in. I just ordered this stuff, got it the other day, put it in the vehicles, we'll see how it turns out. I gave it to the neighbor, had him test it out too. We'll see how it runs, bud.
I have to ask, man, you had one heck of a run early in the race last week. Are you going to be able to get something done here on the short track?
Oh, buddy, I tell you, last week, that was the first road race I have ever finished.
Well, you didn't do too shabby. Since showing up on the scene, you've done quite well. You think you'll be able to get up through the mess at South Boston and get to the front tonight?
I'm not sure we can make it up to the front, but getting through the messes is what I'm pretty much concentrating on, and just being around at the end. I think that's be the key to winning. These guys are a lot faster than me, and I'm just gaining experience every lap, man. Just happy to be here.
All right, man. Good luck.
Appreciate it. Thanks for doing what you do.
We appreciate it, Michael. That's Mike DiCarlo, our newest sponsor in XCAL Racing. We get set to go for 333 laps. Let's meet the starting lineup. On the front row, Austin Edwards and Kendrick Cryer. Row number 2, Alex Gratz, and the last man to win on a short track in XCAL, Jonathan Bronson. Row 3, Zach Edwards, he's been close to a win. Could he get it tonight? Aiden Kaiser next to him. Row 4, Matt Bear and Kyle Keller making his XCAL debut. Row number 5, Edmund Jones and Art Hendren, those two drivers making their best starts of the season by far. Luke Turpin in row 6 next to Don Jordan, also with his best start of the season. Row 7, Chris Johnson and PDJ Zeller. The 8th row is Jeff Edgar and Jake Sylvia. Row number 9 is Sean Patrick and Kyle Bartels. And in row 10, Nicholas Seams and Mason Foster. Doug?
In 21st is Alex Krapser with Connor Rockwood starting 22nd. Brad Ebel and Greg Holes 23rd and 24th. Blake Wynn starts 25th and Jonathan Schwartz in 26th. Dwayne Robertson 27th. Robert Colgan in 28th. Joe Campbell starting in 29th. Derek Olson in 30th. Gerald Thanos Poole starting 31st. John Friley 32nd. Jose Godino 33rd. Travis Sukup 34th. Troy Patterson starts 35th. Sean Andrews in 36th. 37th will be Stephen Wedden, Devin Landry in 38th, Jonathan Berger in 39th, and Keegan Alsop starts 40th. 41st is Michael DiCarlo starting at the back of the field tonight.
Well, folks, we are set to go green for 333 laps. Drivers are off at turn number 2. 12 degrees of banking in the turns, 10 degrees on the straights. It'll make you feel like Dover, but at the same time, it makes you feel like you're at just a regular short track on a Tuesday night. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now, XCAL style? A pair of Edwards high-performance cars on the front row, and it's showtime at South Boston.
Down into turn 1, it'll be a few laps before this settles down at all. Everybody, Austin already to the lead, but everybody side by side the rest of the way through the field as they come around to complete the first lap. And 3 wide as the 96 just shot up the middle.
My goodness, Mason Foster's MO to begin the evening is taking no prisoners. The 96 already up 5 positions from the drop of the green up into 15th. It's Austin Edwards, Kendrick Cryer, Alex Gratz. 1, 2, 3 Edwards high-performance drivers, always threats when you come to XCAL Racing.
And Gratz
And look
is
at the run to
already
the
under.
inside. Yeah, Alex Gratz up to 2nd position, clears the 48, the Irwindale Inner winner. And Alex Gratz is up to 2nd, allows Austin Edwards, the points leader, to open up a gap. Jonathan Bronson tried to look inside on Zach Edwards in the battle for 4th, but that doesn't work out.
No, it got a little dicey there. It looked like Bronson might have gotten a little bit loose up off the turn trying to get the run. Just couldn't hold it, but don't count that car out at any point in this race. And as the track gets darker and cools off, these setups are going to change. Guys are going to be making adjustments and hoping that they make the right ones later in the race to move forward.
Austin Edwards continuing to lead. Keep in mind, by the way, he is the last driver to win at South Boston back when it was a 400-lap race on July 13th. Closest racing we've got on the track seems to be about for 3rd position between Cryer and Edwards, Zach Edwards to be specific. Outside of that, you got Luke Turpin and PDJ Zeller running in 9th and 10th. Everybody so far, Doug, using that low line. Nobody wants to take any huge risks at the moment.
As we saw last season, once the sun goes down, the lights kick on. Some of these guys do move up to the outside line, find that momentum advantage, a little bit of excitement as they come off the turn right behind Petey. As Mason Foster continuing his march toward the front. He is definitely on a mission with good reason here tonight. Honestly, I don't think anybody would be upset about Mason getting to victory lane tonight.
Only one career XCAL Racing victory that came last year. Foster already up 7 spots from the drop of the green flag. Connor Rockwood also making some moves behind him. He's up 8 as the number 9 car passes Art Hendren for 14th on the track. Let's move up the front of the field. Trouble. Keegan Alsop, and the first yellow is out. Oh, and he comes down on the track, and race control is not going to like that at all.
Let's see, going down through the turn, and it looks like
Oh my goodness.
he came up into Jose Godino a little bit. ends up spinning right in front. Holy cow, he does come down, collects a couple of cars in the process.
That was Jonathan Bronson in the 67 that got involved. And he is not happy at all. Austin Edwards not happy either, due to the fact that he was not even on the brake. Should have kept it there until traffic was cleared. That may have been awful driving.
Yeah, that was not a good call. You know that the field is coming. You've seen the yellow come out. Get on the brakes and hold them. That's the only way that you're going to keep that car out of trouble. And, you know, pulling a move like that, I imagine race control, he's going to get a black flag out of that. Guaranteed.
Oh, absolutely. Austin Edwards almost got involved in that wreck as well. I honestly would not be surprised if that was a disqualification, too.
Time will tell, but Brad Ebel's on pit road, as is Aiden Kaiser. Both cars going down likely for repairs and to top off on the fuel. Taking a quick look at Ebel as he comes off pit road. Doesn't look like he got much damage. Might have just been having the crew check it out.
Absolutely. So we'll get the call here. Keegan Alsop gets a black flag. No disqualification. He was the one that came up on the 20 of Jose Gaudino. While we were waiting for the field to come on around, we shouldn't have a lot of extensions as we were just a couple of laps into the race. Something we should watch out for tonight, South Boston and four-time winners. This track has had more first-time winners than any other track in XCAL history, consisting of PDJ Zeller, Brock Colson, Thomas Ingalls, and the man that's leading, Austin Edwards, and could even have more. Some drivers you got to watch closely perhaps tonight. Zach Edwards, who's been a weekly name in the top 5. Alex Gratz, who always have speed. Devin Landry, who had some wicked speed this week, and you can tell early on here as he's already picked up 8 spots from the start of the race. And Edmund Jones in the mix currently in 8th.
Yeah, this one's going to be interesting. A lot of guys are extremely fast here, and this track being as short as it is, they only had a few laps in, but Austin was already looking at a straightaway away from lap traffic. That always comes into play here as well.
Absolutely. Aaron Hillebush, by the way, our president of XCAL Racing, he got screwed out of a win in 2014 by senior admin error, and Spencer Burns jumped a late restart while leading. So something to keep in mind if we do get a first-time winner. Gratz, by the way, also an Edwards high-performance machine. So, we are going green this time by. Rule changes, by the way, specifically for South Boston. No leader choice for the leader, or lane choice, I should say. And we go on the green flag. South Boston has been known for being a glitchy track, so we fire on the green. Austin Edwards, Alex Gratz, row 1. Zach Edwards, Jonathan Bronson, row 2. And rounding out the top 5 is Kendrick Cryer. Matt Bear is next to him. Back to green at SoBo.
Into turn 1. Alex Gratz is not going to fight the boss much. Austin gets the run in, but now the door is open and Zach Edwards has taken it. Meanwhile, looking back in the pack, Mason Foster already looking low, trying to pick up another spot. He gets by Chris Johnson, another EHP car. Mason definitely on a mission here tonight. He is already up with 8 spots, and Chris Rockwood also up 8 spots just behind him.
Here's the run for the 6 for second position. Can't make the pass stick just yet into 1. And this time Alex makes the clear, and so Zach will have to have a tougher fight for it. Battle for 8th, meanwhile, behind them. Look at Luke Turpin inside on Edmund Jones.
Yeah, and you definitely don't want to get up to that high line if you don't have to this early in the run. That just ends up, you're going to lose some positions until you can slot back in. It's going to be a little bit tricky, but only a couple of cars up there and a few gaps behind. They might be able to make their way back down before too terribly much longer.
You got Jake Sylvia also up there in the 25. Watch out for him tonight. Inside he goes on the 51. And once again, you want to be using this low line here at South Boston. These, by the way, are teammates, Jake Sylvia and Edmund Jones, out of the Edwards camp. You got another driver as well stuck up on the outside, trying to see who that is. I think that is Hendren in the 062, and that is. Continuing to lose spots all the way back to 18th. The run in front of him for Nicholas Eames. Jeff Edgar who puts the elbow on him. It was actually Edgar that actually came down on Nick. And that opens the door for Alex Krapser looking for 15th on track. Meanwhile, out in front, Edmund Jones nearly scrapes the wall and allows Jake Sylvia to go by for position.
Yeah, Edmund looks like he is just taking it fairly easy. He's not pushing it with his teammate down there for sure. And, you know, he knows there's a gap just behind so he can fall in when the time comes. But up front, Austin Edwards is already having to think about lap traffic. He is less than a straightaway away from getting into lap traffic. And that first car, I believe, is going to be Troy Patterson, the 61. And it looks like, correct me if I'm wrong, Marty, but it looks like Troy might be down on power or just slow on the track. He seems off pace.
Currently in 38th as leaders just go by the recently spun out car of Keegan Alsop, not off to the start that he wanted. And once again, all the drivers are running single file, but as we get into this run with lap traffic being a factor, will drivers get slowed up from it? Because remember the rules in XCAL Racing. If you're 1 lap down, you can fight the leaders, but if you're 2 laps down, you have to let the leaders by. We could see it perhaps early on, a couple of lead changes, but I won't expect it early with the top 2, and I don't even think you could even say it either for Zach Edwards, who definitely has a lot of respect for the EHP team.
Yeah, I think Zach definitely going to take it easy here tonight. The top car in the J&S field here tonight so far. Up there battling, and oh, there he goes. Zach dives down to the inside. What a drive down. He's using the 61 as a pick.
Whoa! Big move for Zach Edwards. Alex Gratz, by the way, caught the wall in turn 2 last lap, and he paid the price for it. Zach Edwards found a hole. He went for it. No attack, no chance like Takuma Sato. Zach Edwards from 5th. He's up to 2nd.
Zach is definitely marching forward. You know, you got to hope one of the J&S cars pulls the win here tonight, just for the whole, just for Mason Foster. But you really got to hope it's Mason at the end of the day getting the win. He's up to 11th now, and we'll be watching him closely all night.
Battle for 4th position. Kendrick Cryer inside of Jonathan Bronson. I think Bronson just said on the radios, Cryer just go by me. Also letting Matt Bear go by in the number 420 machine. And I think the same with Kyle Keller. Let's talk about the K2 Motorsports team, by the way, which is a part of the 37. They finished in the last 3 spots at Pocono last week. Perhaps the worst performance ever in team history. Paul Coleman Jr. was furious about it. And guess what? They are hyped up. Top 10 spots. Kyle Keller currently the highest driver right now in the 7th position. Art Hendren has faded all the way back to 24th. Aiden Kaiser, by the way, decided to start from the pits. He is a lap down in 39th.
Interesting choice at this track to start from the pits and lose that lap just automatically, especially when there's so few opportunities to pass and things get really sketchy really quickly. Looking back,
Austin.
Go ahead.
So Austin continues to lead. Best battle on track is actually for the 24th position. Sean Patrick inside on Art Hendren. 2 drivers of the faded back. And Hendren got a little bit loose, overdrove the exit of turn 2, gets the wall, opens the door as well for Don Jordan. John Schwartz also trying to be a part of this too.
Yeah, that was a bit of a heartbreak. Art having such a good qualifying run coming into tonight to already have faded this much. Art really struggled the last half of the second season, and they're going to get 3 wide. It gets really close there.
John Schwartz was trying to avoid any situation, and the situation actually came down on him. No, not a lot of damage. Robert Colgan trying to take effect on it. Same with Don Jordan. The 01 gets by. He's up to 25th. And oh boy, we got the 04 sideways. That's Sean Andrews. I don't know how he saved that thing. Not in front of the leaders, though. It got oh so close in front of Stephen Wetton in the 15.
Yeah, things are about to get really exciting. We know about 50 laps is a fuel run as well. So they're going to come down and need fuel before too terribly much longer. The pace laps earlier in the race will come into play. But these guys, it's going to get sketchy here in a minute with lap traffic trying to pit, with leaders trying to pit, and with Zach Edwards all the way up underneath Austin Edwards here.
XCAL Racing has been known for long runs and then cautions in the middle of pit cycles in the past. Could that be a factor? You just saw a change for 5th position as Jonathan Bronson gets by Matt Bear.
Matt looked like he might have got well, that car looks really, does not look settled at all. It looks like it's, like the suspension is extremely soft and he's throwing it through the corners. The way it is rocking every time he comes off a corner. We'll have to wait and see if that comes into play later, but don't ever count Matt Bear out on a short track.
9th place battle on the line. PDJ Zeller gets a run to the inside. Mason Foster trying to follow suit. They are teammates out of the JNS camp. And meanwhile, the 00 and 25 make contact. Foster nearly went 2 for 1. He lets Sylvia have the position. Meanwhile, they stay single file.
Yeah, Mason's not going to give up a whole lot of positions here tonight. That was a wise move on his part, though, holding back. He knows he's faster. He's already looking back underneath, but he could have pushed a very bad situation and made it a whole heck of a lot worse there. Chris Johnson has had an issue.
Chris Johnson in trouble in the 15. That may have actually been a blinking issue. He is still running on the track.
It is a blinking issue. I bet Race Control has words with him before too terribly much longer.
They have not said they're looking at it, but looking at Chris Johnson at the moment, his ping's 133, quality is 99. Speaking of, I want to go back to Mason Foster and give him a shout out at the moment as he looks inside for 10th on Sylvia. Mason Foster making his 30th start along with Robert Colgan tonight, so a big congratulations to Foster on that.
And it's not necessarily easy to get qualified in XCAL because there are so many drivers trying to qualify each week. So things do get a bit interesting. And was Jake Sylvia a little unhappy with Mason there? It looked like he might have given him a little love tap.
Could have been, but look at the mess that the leaders have to deal with. 2x2 racing. You got the lap cars up top, leaders on the bottom. We nearly had 3 wide in turn 2 as that's Friley going by Godino for a position. Though I'm sure that the guys like PDJ Zeller aren't going to be happy in that situation where drivers are battling for position in front of him.
No, it does make it tricky for everybody on track when they're going to give up a position. How hard are they going to fight? Just how crazy is it going to get? And if this stays green through pit stops, it'll get even more crazy.
And PD has been known for calling out drivers that have slowed him up, that specifically lap cars, like when we were at Lucas Oil Raceway, he extremely called out Blake Wynn in the final laps for not moving out of the way in the fastest groove on the track, trying to go by Godino, put him a lap down. We got a good battle happening as well. 4th place is on the line. Bronson getting by Cryer, sent it in deep, and almost sent it too much into the 17, the 3rd place car of Alex Gratz.
The 17 almost got the 5 of...
Whoa, there's the bumper! And Cryer gets a bumper of his own. That's what happens when you're trying to stand up for your teammate.
Yeah, things are going to get very, very dicey out here if they don't get their tempers in check. And we have seen historically at South Boston, some tempers have flared. XCAL goes to the all the short track.
Oh, Bronson to Gratz again.
Oh, Cryer almost gets Bronson that time. This is going to get ugly before too much longer. Yep, there's the bumper. Cryer is definitely paying back for his teammate.
Oh my goodness, and Gratz is not happy with Bronson, telling him to chill.
They're in the top 5 and in the middle of a bunch of lap traffic. I'm really surprised nobody's having any more patience here, but like we said, we see it quite often that the tempers do flare on these short tracks in XCAL.
Starting to see green flag pit stops happen here. Troy Patterson is the first driver to come in the 61 from 38th, so we should be seeing a lot of drivers come in shortly. You're hearing that Chris Johnson has been warned to quit blinking. Let's go to another good battle happening on track. The teammates, PDJ Zeller and Mason Foster. Teammates, by the way, so I would not expect them to go side by side.
Nope.
Just work together and move their way up the field.
Petey moves out of the way. Obvious move there, letting his teammate back by. Mason Foster now up 11 spots in the 9th, and he is one of the biggest, but not the biggest mover. The biggest mover, you mentioned him in pre-race, Marty. Devin Landry, so far up 22 spots into 16th. He is he's going to be one to watch the second half of this race.
Continue to watch that low side with the Peloton pack led by Alex Gratz. Got to go all the way back to Luke Turpin in the 454, currently in 8th position. A change for 21st. Inside, Kyle Bartels in the 88. Not a good start we've seen from him. Again, we talked with him earlier in pre-race. Normally a guy running in the top 5, top 10. Not the start he wanted. It started from 18th, currently 21st.
Seen him hit just give the outside wall on the straightaways off the turns, give it a little kiss a couple of different times so far in this race. This might get even more sketchy if, there's a bobble right in front of him. That was not, who is that right in front of him? The 88 just about lost it.
Yeah, I think that could have been Joe Campbell as well. I'm not too sure, though.
No, Joe Campbell's up ahead in the 63. The 88's a lap car. Trying to see who the heck that one is, but that was, that got exciting.
Absolutely. Got to step away as they're about to get lapped for our first break. It's the Edwards 1-2, followed by Alex Gratz, Kendrick Cryer, and Jonathan Bronson. We'll take you side by side. Hang on. Bronson just moved Cryer out of the way for 4th position, and he gets the bumper back to him. We may want to stay on this battle while we go side by side. You're not going to want to miss a thing here. Stay with us. Oh, my God. We're watching Jonathan Bronson and Alex Gratz, and they are still not playing nice. Bronson has given a huge bump to Alex Gratz, saying it's time to move. We're seeing the 17 coming in pit this time for his first pit stop of the evening, but they almost caused a yellow together. The 04, Sean Andrews was coming into pit, and Gratz got into the 04 thanks to a bumper from Bronson. Luckily, the 04 saved it and was entering pit road.
Now we are under our first round of green flag pit stop, so you know what that means. At some point, with the way pit road exit and entry is here, we could very well see a caution come out. That's why Austin Edwards, Zach Edwards, and Bronson are staying out as long as they possibly can. Austin Edwards and Zach Edwards have been nose to tail, and I think Zach might be holding back just a little bit. Something tells me that car has a little something special tonight.
I think you could say it in addition to your top 5 and maybe even top 6. Matt Bear 4th, Luke Turpin, who we know could go as long as he can in 4th position.
Matt
and
Bear
we
now
just,
in.
yep, Matt Bear coming on in. Alex Gratz just coming on out. Top 6 still have yet to pit.
Hey, shout out to Nicholas Seams, who's still out there and now up into 6th position, continuing to make his way forward. Alex Craps are now up into 5th. If they get that caution, which I know some of these drivers are expecting here, these guys have outsmarted the field. Bronson is now on pit road.
Well, Jabroni couldn't go a long way, so he's on into the pits, still waiting for the top 4. By the way, you mentioned Nicholas Seams. He's on the tail end of the lead lap. Here come the top 2. The Edwards, not related, on in pit road. We'll see who comes out first. Long ways to go here when it comes to pit road. Luckily, they can enter in turn for an exit in turn number 1. The pit road here is kind of a lot like Bristol when you think of it.
Yeah, you pretty much go the entire length of the track. You do a lap on pit road for all intents and purposes. And, you know, Luke Turpin out front, how long can he go? Now that everybody else has been to pit road, Alex Craps are the only other driver in the top 10 that had, actually, I think he might be the only other driver in the field.
Behind them! And that was Wayne in the 15. No caution, though. Gerald Poolwalter involved. There was actually Mason Foster, excuse me. No caution. That may have been... I don't know what to say about that. I am very surprised that was not a yellow flag.
Let's see here as... Oh! The 16 got turned down the track. Looked like he had a little help. Mason gets caught up in it.
That's Pat Sullivan. Comes down into Mason Foster. But, you know, Luke Turpin, by the way, is still on the track. I'm very surprised that that was not a yellow flag. Because a couple of things. South Boston is very narrow here in XCAL Racing. That is number 1. And because of that, there's not a lot of breathing room for leaders to go by. That, when you think of it, that was oh so close to being in the racing path.
Yeah, he was really, the car is just so long that once it's turned sideways on a straightaway, it's taken up half the straightaway. So everybody coming that direction has to find a way around him, and he's got to move and try and get out of the way. Mason did an excellent job with it, but a bit of a heartbreak seeing him now back into 18th.
Thank goodness, though, it was only a one-car spin and not many cars involved. Still waiting for Luke Turpin to come in, and he's coming in this time. We can tell you in front of him, Austin Edwards has cycled through, is still in front of Zach Edwards. Matt Bear has taken advantage. He's up to 3rd position. Jonathan Bronson has gone ahead of Kendrick Cryer. PDJ Zeller took big advantage. He's in 7th spot. Alex Gratz is in 8th, and don't forget they'll all move up by 1. Once some of them may move up by 1 once Luke Turpin finishes his pit stop. Why did Alex Gratz have a slow stop? It had to do with the pit road time. He had a 59.25. Everyone else was like 5, 6, or sometimes 7 seconds faster than the 17 on pit road. That was, I don't think he had a lot of practice on pit road coming in.
Yeah, Gerald Poole on pit road getting repairs. He is missing his left front wheel after that incident. You know he's got to be disappointed. He was actually moving up through the field before getting a little bump just off the turn that sent him down into the inside wall and collected Mason Foster. Knowing Gerald, I know he's got to be a lot frustrated after that, after having such a great run. Similar situation happened to him at Bristol last year, up running in the top 5, top 10, and all of a sudden late in the race just gets involved in something he could not avoid. So another heartbreak for Thanos, but expect him to be back getting points before the night's out and back in contention next week.
So Luke Turpin, after pit stops, is in the 9th position. Now, something to keep in mind, though, while he did lose a couple of spots, he does have the freshest tires of everybody. Compared to the leaders, 8 laps of fresher Hoosier rubber.
Probably won't make a difference for about 15 or 20 laps. He'll be a little bit faster now, but Luke Turpin's going to be a lot faster later in the run. Plus that those 8 extra laps on fuel as Greg
Austin
Holes
is out. Greg Holes and Stephen White, and we got more drivers involved.
Holes right in front of the 6 of Zach Edwards. And it looks like Zach was getting a bit frustrated. I think he might have been giving him a tap. Holes goes around.
That's the second wreck that we have seen leaders get involved in a wreck for no apparent reason. So, first off, Holes got the bumper off of the second place running Zach Edwards.
And then,
that's Wetton and Foster. And then let me see what happened here with Brad Ebel and PDJ Zeller.
Brett Ebel comes down into 1 and 2, and already at this point, everybody's checking up all over the track. PD almost gets to a stop, and Ebel just didn't get on the brakes early enough, and Ebel gets into the back of PD, sends him down. Fortunately, PD had the car pointed just perfectly. Just gave the inside wall a little bit of a rub.
Man, those are 2 front runners that were involved. Kendrick Cryer, absolutely nowhere to go. Pretty much the track was blocked on the top side of the lane. As drivers are just trying to figure out where to restart in.
Okay, apparently Aiden Kaiser had some internet issues, or computer and internet issues. That explains his early hopping out of the race early here.
Zach Edwards, by the way, we can tell you, he's gone from a mid-pack driver to a weekly contender, and he gets the black flag, his first, and so he'll have to come down pit road and serve the penalty. That's a tough break for Zach Edwards. One of the drivers that were in contention to win, in trouble.
Well, he'll maintain the lead lap. That'll give him a chance to get back up. And as fast as he's been, as long as he can keep that car out of trouble, he ought to be okay.
He's coming in to serve it now, which is absolutely legal per XCAL Racing rules. And this is also a more respectful decision because he doesn't have to be in the leader's way and stack up the field when he comes in if he came to serve his penalty under the green flag.
Matika and the kids cheering on Edmund Jones, who has been in the top 10 most of the night, currently in 16th, but looks like he is going to be able to make his way back toward the front as we're starting to see wave arounds here. And it looks like for the first time ever, Kyle Keller will restart in first.
Correction, by the way, it was Gerald Poole that's in the 16, not Pat Sullivan. Force of habit, I'm so used to seeing Poole in the 9
Bad,
and
Marty.
Sullivan in
Bad.
the 16. Anyway, the wave arounds, by the way, belong to Blake Wynn, Joe Campbell, and Robert Colgan. A couple of drivers came into pit road, and looking at this amongst the field, some of the drivers that came in, Jonathan Bronson taking fuel only, including Alex Gratz, Kendrick Cryer. I believe Jake Matt Bear, came into pit along with Austin Evers and PDJ Zeller. So this will put Kyle Keller and Luke Turpin on the front row.
They stack back up. Looks like we're going to go green again. Kyle Keller getting his first laps led under caution here. He's got to be happy with the way things are going tonight.
Absolutely. So, Luke Turpin to restart as the race leader. Keep in mind, South Boston has been known in the past for being a very glitchy track. We'll see how this happens on the restart with lapped traffic. They were told in the driver's meeting, by the way, outside of the no lane change, no picking the lane, and no firing on your own pace for the leader. Lap cars have to restart on the inside line. The leaders have to restart on the outside line. I believe that's what it was. There was a lot of stuff to remember in the driver's meeting. Thanks, South Boston.
South Boston
Anyway.
and Southern National both have some very difficult glitches, but XCAL overcoming it as they come down and green flag back in the air.
Europe in a good restart. Kyle Keller stuck on the inside. Here comes the 9 of Connor Rockwood. One of the drivers we had to watch closely. Currently up 19 positions. Alex Krapser stuck to his outside. The number 9 taking P3. Kendrick Cryer trying to make his way back up after topping off for fuel.
Jonathan Bronson.
And watch closely. And I was actually about to mention, Jonathan Bronson behind him now. Alex Gratz.
Yep. I have a feeling, given how rough things were right before the pit stop, that this is about to get very interesting. Now that the roles have been reversed, I don't think Alex Gratz is going to be extraordinarily patient.
If I'm Bronson, I'm trying to find a way to have Krapser, to get by Krapser, or to have Krapser clear him, and then just let Alex Gratz go by. No bumper there.
No bumper yet is what you meant to say.
Absolutely. Yes. And speaking of bumpers, Kyle Keller nearly put the bumper on Luke Turpin in the battle for the race lead.
Yeah, you know Kyle Keller being up here for the first time, he wants to get that K2 sauce car to the lead here tonight, and definitely going to do anything he can to get that done. Oh, Alex Gratz is down to the inside.
Yep, Bronson and Gratz side by side, 5th position on the line. And Gratz should have it at the start-finish line, and he does by a door.
You know what, let's go back and look.
Oh, they get together! They save it, though.
I think Alex Gratz was showing a lot of patience there. I don't think he put the bumper to him, but, you know, he gets by cleanly. And now Bronson, he's trying to see about getting some, giving him a little love tap.
Let's go up front of these guys to 3rd position as Connor Rockwood looking inside on Kendrick Cryer for 3rd. Once again, we mentioned this earlier. XCAL Racing, no, that got close. Connor Rockwood saw Alex Gratz attack for position number 4, and Rockwood was like, yeah, I'm not getting spun out. He decided to move up 2 lanes and just give him the spot. It was not worth it. I think that was a good move by the 9, even though he lost a spot and may lose more.
Yeah, he's definitely making some smart moves here early on. He has probably gotten reports from his team about how the Bronson and Gratz thing is going, and you know that both of those drivers are a little bit annoyed right now, would be a good way to put that. So
he tried to find a hole there in front of the 36.
And look who is up to 9th place now. The season opener winner, Joe Campbell, now in 9th place. He has been having a great season.
Absolutely. Perhaps his best year yet in XCAL Racing. Joe Campbell, by the way, last week, if I have my notes correctly here, coming off of a 17th place paying finish. Let's go to 3rd spot. Alex Gratz, Kendrick Cryer, the teammates. And they both ran each other up the racetrack there. I don't know, that's a little bit risky considering their teammates Gratz may have just driven the corner a little bit too deep. But that's 17 back up to a podium spot.
And he gets Kendrick Cryer between him and Bronson. Probably the smartest thing he could have done. I have to think that there was some team discussion there, maybe working that one out just to make sure that they can keep these cars clean. As you see, Thanos is back out on track. He got that left front tire back on. They got it all fixed up, and he is going again. Great to see him back out there.
In case you were wondering, by the way, were the drivers that were in front earlier, like Matt Bear and Austin Edwards, you won't believe this. Matt Bear is in 13th position. Austin Edwards is stuck in 15th, and drivers side by side that I believe are battling for a position. That's Mason Foster in front of him, and that is not for a position in front of him.
But you know Mason is still trying to work his way back up. He's in 29th right now. He knows he's got a fast car. He is going to try and fight his way all the way to the front if he can here tonight.
A couple of other good battles happening on track. You've got the 25 of Jake Sylvia underneath on Joe Campbell. That's for 9th, and Sylvia gets up there. Got to give credit to him. We don't talk about him a lot in XCAL Racing. He started in 16th and has put the EHP 25 up into P9. Nice run for him on the going.
And Joe's not done with him yet, I think. Joe was looking really low there through the turns. I think Joe has got the advantage early into the corner. But another thing about to come into play here, Marty, is as you notice, there's some shadows coming from lights now as the sun goes down.
BC Bob Pockris, does South Boston have lights? You betcha, that is the answer, which means outside of the shadows, once the lights come on, the track temperature will get cooler, the speeds will go up, so we'll expect some quicker times on fresh tires in the future.
Yeah, then now that Turpin is back in the lead and is back in lap traffic, things are going to get very interesting for that car. Being up at the front is not always the best place to be.
There we go. Oops, pardon me. Leader's going by a lap car in the 31.
And he got
Mike
the
DiCarlo.
wall.
Yep, that's DiCarlo. Alex Krapser having a good run as well so far in the 29, currently in 6th position. Here's a fun fact out of the JNS Racing camp. After winning 4 out of 6 races between the last 5 races of 2021 and the opening race of 2022, JNS is on an 11-race winless streak. That's kind of surprising when you think of it, because Alex Krapser was a key contender coming on into the season. Finished 4th last week at Pocono, and enters coming in 3rd in points. He's still having a great run, though.
Yeah, I would not count out any of the JNS cars. As we've talked about throughout the season, they figured something out during the offseason. I think they were spying on Luke Turpin's team over the season. They found some ways to save some fuel, which was a huge problem for that team last season, just not getting any fuel efficiency. They've got something figured out. We've seen them run as long as Luke Turpin, on a few occasions longer, plus still having all the speed. So these guys, I don't think JNS is out of this yet, and they've been very, very close to several wins since Joe Campbell's win back at Charlotte.
We'll step aside and go to break. Luke Turpin leads Kyle Keller, Alex Gratz, Kendrick Cryer, and Jonathan Bronson. We'll step aside and go side by side. If trouble breaks out, we'll break in.
Totally different shapes. Howdy, partner. You're watching XCAL Racing. Woo!
Welcome back here to the XCAL Racing Web Shop 333 from South Boston. Make sure you check out the XCAL Racing Web Shop at xcalracing.com/shop. Newest items. Well, summer's approaching, so it's time to go swimming. Swim trunks are available. In addition, if you want to go stay at a hotel, premium pillowcases, and a lot more on the XCAL Racing Web Shop. 139 laps are complete here. Luke Turpin still leading. No change amongst the top 5. During the last break, we've got a good battle happening for 13th. Devin Landry and Joe Campbell.
Devin and Joe both up a lot of spots and continuing to march forward. Devin up 25, Joe up 15. Don't count either of these drivers out. They both know how to get it done here in XCAL, obviously, and continue their march forward. PDJ Zeller has drifted back to 15th and looking to see Zach Edwards all the way back in 19th, but he has started to recover quite well from his earlier incident.
Just had a change for 10th as well. 2 drivers that pitted for fuel only underneath the last caution. Austin Edwards and Matt Bear. It's been a tough road for them to try and rebound their way up to the field. You would expect them to be in the top 5 by now, but we're just about halfway through this run, and they are currently in 9th and 10th respectively.
Yeah, I think Austin will be up there before the end of probably around lap 200. We should see both of these drivers up there. Austin's opening the hole, and Matt Bear is just following through. Although at the moment, Blake Wynn is doing a great job holding Matt off, but Matt down to the inside, off the turn, has the nose ahead as they go off into 3 and 4.
Hearing there may have been some contact between the two as Edmund Jones giving Blake Wynn some room, so Blake goes back into the 11th position. Got another good battle happening throughout the field as we do have a couple of drivers in the pits. Chris Johnson, Kyle Bartos all in along with Edmund Jones for the top 10. We got one driver that actually missed the pits. Is that John Friley in the 57?
I believe so. Let's take a quick look here. Friley heading down.
And, he got
on. He got turned around a little bit. Great job by Friley getting down and making, staying. Oh, so great save by Friley, almost getting into the tires at the entrance to pit road. Could we see Friley, could we see a repeat of what we saw with Bronson earlier? Friley getting a little frustrated and going and explaining to other drivers how frustrated he is.
Yeah, if that would have been a perfect time for John Friley to take some tires there. However, though, now he goes an additional lap, and he now loses a lot more time than that. Friley, by the way, not pitting at the moment.
And he's got Luke Turpin right behind him as well, so he stands to lose another lap here as Jake Sylvia is the first one to go to pit road from the top 10.
Jonathan Bronson currently running in the 5th position. We got to give him a huge shout out. These last few races, he has been on a hot streak. You know, last week at the Pocono Road Course, he finished in 6th. But at Lucas Oil Raceway 3 weeks ago, this kid could not have been a lot more happier. First career XCAL Racing win after so many attempts at trying it. And 4 weeks ago, at Irwindale Inner, he had a chance to win it, and then there was a senior admin error on his restart speed coming back to green flag. They claiming that he didn't meet minimum speed, but he did meet minimum speed coming to the green flag and did not get the win after having one of the best cars in the field. But looking to improve from that 6th place finish last week, up in 5th at the moment, Doug.
Yeah, Bronson has definitely had the most close calls with victory here in XCAL Racing than any other driver. Just bad luck, small mistakes, just little things have kept him from victory lane up until that win. But now looking to make it multiple wins this season. And it's worth noting, Alex Crapser back up in 6th place, and Austin Edwards now in 7th as Kyle Keller gives up 2nd, coming to pit road.
Keller looking to have the lead off of the undercut could be a very risky decision. However, though, if we see Luke Turpin go late once again on his pit stop, which we could expect, he last pitted on lap 89, then we could see the lead being handed off to Kyle Keller, but on worn tires.
Let's take a quick look from the roof of Alex Crapser's car, and you see the mess in front of him. You saw him grab a little bit of the wall there. Plus, you see that awesome logo all the J&S drivers are carrying tonight. But look, there is just not much of a gap anywhere on the track for any of these drivers to make moves into. And when you have that little bit of breathing room, well, you kind of back off for a minute, use the opportunity to catch your breath, and then get going again.
Trying to find some other good battles on track. I think the best one at the moment is for second between Alex Gratz, Kendrick Cryer, and Jonathan Bronson.
Yeah.
Oh, we've seen this before once again. We've been talking about it a lot tonight, and they got heavy lap traffic in front of them. Those that may have either already pitted or those that have yet to pit.
Well, Alex and Kendrick were very smart. Kendrick letting Alex by, so he acts as a buffer between the two. Bronson can't get to him easily right now. The two teammates can work together. But will Bronson get frustrated with the teammate acting as a roadblock?
Remember, Jonathan Bronson driving for Higgins, the XCAL Superfan. So perhaps he may have had in his pre-race meeting with Higgins saying, "Hey, use your bumper. It don't matter. I'm just drunk." And speaking of this, we've got a battle for the race lead that could be developing. You've got Kaiser on fresh tires. Excuse me, Keller on fresh tires. And Gratz starting to close in on Luke Turpin, who had a lot of issues dealing with the lap traffic, down to 0.4 of a second.
Now that all the lap traffic is... Oh, look at Alex Gratz gets a little bit of the 31 there. All the lap traffic up to the high side. And you know something I also just noticed? I don't think there's a single car left in the field that doesn't have a little bit of a scrape on the right side. South Boston is to short tracks what Darlington is to cup cars. It just, you're going to get a stripe on your car. That's all there is to it. But once they get the lap traffic moved up, and as Luke Turpin moves lap traffic up, Alex can just shoot through the gap.
Here come Gratz and Cryer, the teammates, make their way into pit road, so we're still waiting for what will be the top 6 on track. Here's what it looks like around South Boston Speedway from the XCAL Racing blimp. Always an incredible sight for sore eyes. This is what street stock racing is all about when it comes to these long runs, Doug.
Yeah, it definitely gets a bit interesting out here. These guys are just side by side. Not even for position at times. They're just trying to move forward, move back, stay out of the way. Some of these guys just out there riding for points right now. Jonathan Bronson, you see the gap between him and Luke Turpin and the mess right behind him as Alex Crapser. No, Crapser's coming to pit road. Austin Edwards and Matt Baer trying to make their way up after being a little bit off the pit cycle.
I can tell you, by the way, we are halfway home here, just about halfway home here at South Boston. We are 168 laps in the books, coming to 169. We are hearing, by the way, that drivers are saving fuel. One of them specifically is Austin Edwards. I think this is just to try and get as much as he can on this long run before coming in. He wants to try and match as close as he can to Luke Turpin.
Well, the last few laps, Austin has been faster by a tenth or more a second. He is definitely gaining, but he goes way high through there, letting PDJ Zeller go by. PD on fresher tires. And Austin can use some of these guys as they come back by to help open the door and let him get through.
Oh, Matt Baer just got hit entering pit road, I believe. He did. That was the 9 that got into him. The new guy of Connor Rockwood that put Matt Baer into the tires.
Let's see if we can back the replay up just a little bit. We catch Matt Baer right there.
My goodness, that changes everything. One contender, once again, eliminated. And that's going to be a long stop for the 420. That's front bumper damage.
Oh, Matt almost had it saved. Knowing Matt, he is fuming right now.
Oh, he is. He went on a NSFW rant for 15 seconds on the wheel, PD, before he got cut off by another driver. and that other driver was not Connor Rockwood.
I am guessing we've had some drivers get muted, and it looks
Oh,
like...
trouble. Alex Crapser, Zach Edwards, Brad Ebo, caution in 1. And that's going to change everything once again.
Crapser just comes up the track, barely gets the EHP car up on the high side, and then collects, as he's coming down, collects Zach Edwards, his teammate, Brad Ebel has nowhere to go behind. They get caught up as well.
Boy, I got to tell you, Joe Campbell had an incredible miss. He was about to have nowhere to go and just swapped that wheel to the right.
Yeah.
But we're going to see a lot more drivers get caught a lap down or more here. This is going to be under 5 drivers, I think, on the lead lap when we come back to green.
It looks like there's only 3 left, but 3 more will get waved around, so we should have about 6. But worth noting, Austin Edwards plays the strategy perfectly on this one.
And that may affect Jonathan Bronson big time. I'm listening to Matt Bear closely. He is not happy.
I cannot imagine why. Matt Bear is called the Mad Bear for a reason.
Absolutely. Alrighty.
You know,
let's while we're at it, sorry, go ahead.
There's a funny comment, and of course it's from Leto. You've got to be a big oof for Matt, especially driving the 420 car and 420 being tomorrow.
Absolutely. By the way, let's while we're at it, let's take a look at a full field rundown while at it. Austin Edwards, your race leader, as he's in. Luke Turpin second. Jonathan Bronson is third. And normally we do a lot more of this. However, though, we're under caution. Why not? Shorten this up for you. Alex Gratz fourth. Kendrick Cryer is fifth. Alex Krapser sixth. Kyle Keller is running seventh in his debut. Edmund Jones is eighth. Jake Sylvia is in ninth. And Blake Wynn in 10th. PDJ Zeller running 11th. Matt Bear 12th. Connor Rockwood 13th. Kyle Bartels is 14th. Joe Campbell 15th. Travis Sukup 16th. Devin Landry 17th. Dwayne Robinson 18th. Sean Andrews 19th. Zach Edwards is 20th. Only 5 drivers on the lead lap. Doug?
Got Jose Godino being scored in 22nd. Mason Foster is 23rd at the moment and continuing his march back toward the front. Nicholas Seams in 24th. Jonathan Bronson getting stuck, or Jonathan Bergeron, excuse me, up 14 spots in 25th. Sean Patrick now up to 26th. Robert Colgan 27th. Jeff Edgar has gone backwards all night into 28th. Chris Johnson really struggling, the worst running EHP car, in 29th. Greg Holes in 30th. Mike DiCarlo said he was just out here getting experience tonight, up to 31st now. Derek Colson in 32nd. Don Jordan on pit road being scored in 34th now. Friley in 33rd. Keegan Olsip 35th. Brad Ebel in 36th. Stephen Wedden in 37th. Gerald Poole now in 38th after that unfortunate incident earlier. Art Hendren back to 39th after his best qualifying run of the season. Troy Patterson still on pit road in 40th. Aiden Kaiser out of the race in 41st.
Make sure you check out the XCAL Racing web shop. It's summer starting up soon, and we got swim trunks available starting at $40. Available on xcalracing.com/shop. Also, Sim Racer Hub is the official. Oh, hold up. What in the heck is happening?
I'm guessing the guys are still trying to sort out with that caution coming out during green flag pit stops. Everybody trying to sort out where they're supposed to be based on what race control is saying and what the iRacing heads-up display is telling them.
Yeah, but still, the pace speed is like 40 miles an hour. Why the hell are we stopping on the pace lap? That's what I'm so confused about. Anyway, they interrupted my sales pitch, so let's continue here. Sim Racer Hub is the official statistics provider of XCAL Racing. You can take a look at xcalracing.com and see our owner standings at the moment, along with who's got wins, top 5s, top 10s, and a whole lot more. If you want to be a super fan of XCAL Racing, make sure you become an XCAL Racing Patreon. Get exclusive access to the XCAL Racing Discord and more. xcalracing.com/2022.
Jonathan Bronson still being scored as the leader. Austin Edwards in second. Alex Gratz in third. Kendrick Cryer in fourth. Alex Gratz in third. And if he gets past Austin, you got to think Austin's going to tell him to sit behind him for now. Especially with Kendrick there. The 3 EHP cars, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. I don't think Austin's going to let Alex get back up there to Jonathan Bronson anytime soon. But also, if Bronson continues some problems, I wouldn't be surprised if Austin got out there and did a little bit rougher driving just to defend his driver.
So just to recap, by the way, what happened under the yellow. It was a racing accident between Alex Krapser and Chris Johnson. They get an EOL. Waiver rounds go to Alex Kratz, Kendrick Cryer, and Kyle Keller.
Race control and the driver still trying to sort it out. These short tracks do get a little bit weird from time to time, especially when the caution coming out during the middle of green flag stops and a lot of drivers on different strategies. So Austin Edwards, Jonathan Bronson, Alex Gratz, and Kendrick Cryer definitely have the best strategy so far.
So we're ready to go back to green flag racing here. Bronson brings them back under the green flag. And we got a big checkup under the green flag we're hearing. And Bronson goes to the inside. He's got a 2-second lead on Austin Edwards. Luke Turpin, by the way, got trapped a lap down in that situation under pit road, and we've got a black flag to Connor Rockwood.
Connor Rockwood currently running in 11th, but he'll have to come down pit road and serve that penalty. That's going to be a heartbreak. He was having a great race so far, been up in contention most of the night.
And it was an easy black flag. He changed lanes coming back to the green flag, was trying to make passes, but that did not work. PD running in 9th position. Let's go to our best battle on track, and that is the Austin Edwards, Alex Gratz, Kendrick Cryer teammate show for 2nd, but don't expect them to race each other at the moment. They're just going to follow each other. Absolutely, they're trying to close in on Jonathan Bronson, who's got a 1.8 second lead and a myriad of lap traffic he's got to deal with. First guy is Joe Campbell in the 63. Now Joe Campbell is 2 laps down, so he's got to let the leader by per XCAL Racing rules, and there he goes down to the inside of the track. Other good battles. Zeller and Sylvia.
Oh, Joe's around.
This isn't going to be too pretty. Big wreck that just took place.
Looked like Joe was trying to get past the 31. Had Bronson down below. Bronson clears. Zach Edwards is down there. Little tap off the 31. Goes down. Gets into
Austin Edwards. Austin Edwards, Alex Gratz. Oh my goodness. Many of the front runners involved. Jonathan Bronson has no idea what he missed.
Let's see what happened with Austin. Did he get any damage out of this?
I think he did. He was up on the high side and stopped.
He gets stopped.
Oh, he got pummeled.
17. His teammate had nowhere else to go, so heavy damage to him, and I'm guessing the 17 got some damage as well. What a heartbreak. EHP had 3 of the top 5 spots. That is going to change dramatically here.
Absolutely. While we're at it, we're going to step aside and go to break. Stay with us here at South Boston Speedway. We are back here with 199 laps complete. Let's recap the last yellow that just took place. Joe Campbell got the black flag. The waves belong to Luke Turpin, Edmund Jones, and Jake Sylvia. And a strange situation. Luke Turpin is right now being scored as the leader.
Also, additionally strange, even after pit stops, Kendrick Cryer and Alex Gratz, who were both caught up in that incident with the boss, Austin Edwards, they're still holding on to second and third. Austin only drops back to about 10th place right now, so he is still in a salvageable position. Jonathan Bronson now in 9th. Matt Bear back up into 8th after his earlier incident. And cracking the top 5 is now Edmund Jones. So EHP still has like 4 or 5 cars in the top 10 right now.
And it's crazy that Cryer and Gratz were involved in the wreck and they're second and third. Edwards back in 10th position. This could definitely help out Luke Turpin points-wise towards the championship as we got 1 lap to take the green flag. Turpin leads, Cryer second, Alex Gratz is third. Kyle Keller running in 4th, Edmund Jones 5th, Jake Sylvia 6th, PDJ Zeller 7th, Matt Bear 8th, Jonathan Bronson 9th, and Austin Edwards is in the top 10. And we've got the lights on one more time while we're at it. Let's take a look and see what y'all are saying in chat. Jeremy Lutto watching, hello. He felt so bad for Matt Bear, more so with 420 being tomorrow. We mentioned that earlier on in the broadcast, actually.
I was in a race one time with Matt Bear. His wheel was not working right. He had to empty some leaves out of it.
What?
Yeah, he had smoked so much he got leaves inside the wheel.
So we're ready to go back to the green flag with a man that was a lap down before the last yellow, somehow being scored as the leader. Now, normally if you get a wave around, you have to go to the tail line of the longest line, but
It looks
Luke Turpin followed what he's doing, so he's the leader. And we got a battle for 8th.
It looks like Turpin did not come in under that caution, and why would he? He has the fuel to go like another year and a half, so.
That is correct. Luke Turpin did not pit. I think he was the only driver amongst the drivers on the lead lap that did not pit.
Oh,
Look at this
Bronson!
mess. Look at this mess. Look at Bronson. Thread the needle in 7th position.
Holy
Make his way by PDJ Zeller. Austin Edwards on the follow. Jonathan Floppa Bronson. Don't call him Floppa. Don't call him Jabroni. Call him Send It.
That was
He just told, if his nickname is Jabroni, he just pretty much said to the lap cars, I'm sending it straight up your candy asses, in the words of The Rock.
He definitely sent it and really put everybody around him in a position where they had to be careful because he dang sure was going to send it no matter what. Austin wisely saw the move coming and just follows him through.
Trouble. Travis Duke up in the 45 in the wall.
Bronson pushes up into Gerald Poole. Gerald up on the high side and a little bit of bumping and banging there. Bronson manages to hold on. Let's see what happened to Sukup here. Sukup down on the bottom trying to pick up some positions here. And, he got way too much of the apron. Then they're 3 wide and he pushed up. Manages to keep the car mostly straight, but that DBR car definitely losing ground here.
I saw, by the way, what happened with Jonathan Bronson. I think he's possessed from the devil at the moment with how hard he is sending it. And nearly makes contact with Wetton in the 15.
I think Bronson is just going to keep running, although he has to be worried. If he gets back up to Alex Gratz, he has Alex Gratz's team owner right behind him. I don't think he's going to be quite as pushy.
Change for 12th position. Dwayne Robinson inside on Kyle Bartels. I think Bartels just let it have it so he could give Alex Crapser some room as well. Battle for the lead, though, starting to heat up. Here comes the 17 of Gratz. Him and Cryer all up on Luke Turpin in the battle for the lead.
Yeah, and note that Gratz has some right front damage. Luke Turpin, one of the few cars in the field, no significant damage. I don't think Turpin even has a scratch on the right side. I might need to retract my previous statement that
He looks clean.
I think he might be the only car on the track that is 100% clean. Could we see the night where Luke Turpin walks out of South Boston with a 0X?
That would be incredible. He had 0x at the moment, you said?
I can't double check it at the moment, but he...
Oh, yeah, that's right. You don't want to show the iRacing graphics.
But I am willing to bet that, yes, he has a 0X right now. That car is just too clean at the moment for him to have been into anything or anybody.
So a 3-car battle for the lead. Different lines being taken in the entry of Turn 1. They've got the 45 of Sukup in front of him, and he'll let the leaders go by. Let's see what they do with the drivers side by side. That is Art Hendren in the 062 and the 31 of Mike DiCarlo. DiCarlo lets the leaders by, and Hendren's got to let him by too, though. Oh, he got loose in front of the leader. That got close.
Yeah, it's going to get even more sketchy as this race goes on. If drivers aren't adjusting their setups for the cooler track temperature, they're going to be really having to fight the car here. And plus, having to run up on the highlights. The 17 looks down to the inside, can't do anything yet. But having to move up to that high line, it changes the way the car handles as well.
Half a car length separating Turpin and Gratz. Entering the corner. Now they got Godino up to him. Kendrick Cryer, I think, just touched the wall as Gratz nearly puts the bumper on Luke Turpin for the race lead. 221 laps are complete.
2/3 of the way through this one, and everybody's about to ramp up the aggression here.
Absolutely. We're about to see some take no prisoners within about 10 laps or so once we get into the double digits of laps to go. We've got some other good battles happening on track 2. Jonathan Bronson and Austin Edwards. You've got, PDJ Zeller and Matt Barrett, good friends. Dwayne Robinson and Alex Krebs are battling for 12th. Those are pretty much the battles we're really watching closely on track. Joe Campbell, by the way, is in pit road in the 63.
Definitely not a strategy move for Joe here, I don't think. He can't go the distance on fuel. We've seen predicted roughly 50 laps on fuel, but I think we've seen that stretch a little bit more, especially with cautions. You have to wonder if he's counting backwards. If he is and he knows he can make it more than 50 laps, this could be setting up for only one more stop.
You're definitely right. I think this is perhaps a 2-stop race to the end, but drivers are starting to come in to use perhaps one of their 2 stops.
Edmund gives
Edmund
up
Jones
5th.
in. We got a good battle for 6th happening, starting to develop. Jonathan Bronson and Austin Edwards, and Flappa is starting to blink.
And Jake Sylvia not far ahead of these guys either, so he can be in this battle before too much longer. With the way Bronson is sending it tonight and the way he was using that front bumper earlier, he might be taking an anything goes attitude here.
Give credit to Sylvia. One of his best runs of the season in 5th after starting from 16th position.
And we mentioned him earlier, Devin Landry now in the top 10 after starting 38. He has just quietly and patiently made his way forward all throughout the race. Now up into the top 10, up 28 spots. That's one heck of a run tonight.
Landry, the biggest mover of the race for sure. Let's go back up to the front. Turpin with about a car length and a half lead on Alex Gratz. Gratz still all over that spoiler for the lead. We're approaching 100 to go.
Sylvia in for his pit stop now. Luke Turpin now definitely back in the lap traffic full force. Let's see if he's got an in-car camera we can dial up and take a look. That is what Luke Turpin is seeing right now. Nothing but lap traffic ahead. He has to play it safe here. He's got some gaps between some of these cars that he can slide into and catch his breath, but South Boston does not have a lot of room to catch your breath.
At this point of the drivers that he are approaching, technically they have to move for him unless they approach like Matt Bear or PDJ Zeller or Austin Edwards, Jonathan Bronson, etc. amongst the front runners on track.
Turpin gets under the 94 easily. It looks like most of the drivers have started moving out of the way for the leaders, but it also has given Alex Gratz and Kendrick Cryer a chance. Holy cow! Gratz way sideways as he tries to get under the lap car. Kendrick having to back off just a little bit to make sure he doesn't get into him.
Absolutely smart move by the driver of the 48. Wants to make sure his teammate continues to keep on going straight. How about Austin Edwards as well? After being involved in that last yellow, he's still in 6th position, and the rear end just pushed in, but that looks like to be the only set of damage he's got. He took less than what we thought he did, because remember, he plowed into John Schwartz after getting forced on into that wreck.
Yeah, it looks like he does have a little bit of right front damage, but nothing right around the wheel, but nothing real significant in South Boston, not very aero dependent. And Austin definitely knows how to get the car to the front, even with a little bit of damage. In fact, it looked like he might have something for Bronson here. Lap traffic keeping him from making a move.
Bronson and Edwards in that battle for 5th position. They've been having a great race so far today. Bronson, though, pitted under the last yellow flags, while many stayed out, which almost had trapped him 1 lap down. PDJ Zeller now makes his way into pit road, as Turpin has actually increased his gap on Alex Gratz up to 3/4 of a second.
Yeah, you got to wonder if these guys are maybe running Alex Gratz, Kendrick Cryer just a little bit harder. Kyle Keller, also worth noting, up into 4. Oh, Kyle's on pit road now. Oh, Kyle's in trouble getting to pit road.
Wow! He just came in way too hot with the marbles. The rear end got light. I think he wheel hopped it coming into pit road, and that's a tough break. Top 5 car, and now looks like that run may come to an end for the top 5.
He did a great job saving it, but he's still going to lose a bit of time here. We'll see if he can recover from that, or if that was the end of his chances here tonight. Still a lot of racing left to go, though.
Back to 4th spot. Here's Edwards inside on Bronson. Sends it below the yellow line. That's completely legal. And Edwards is up to 4th.
You got to wonder if Bronson, obviously a little aggravated with some of the EHP cars, does he give the bumper to Austin here? Let's take a look at it from the XCAL blimp as they continue to go at it.
I don't think he will use the bumper. Bronson's been a lot more respectful than he has been in the past. I think he knows there's a lot of time left in this race.
And look at Austin. Oh, what is going on? The 27 just dove down in front of Austin Edwards.
And that's not even for a position.
No, he dove under the 04.
That's Sean Patrick in the 27, by the way. Now he lets them go by. I think what they were trying to do, they had that 1 lap car of the 04 that both of them, that everyone was trying to get by. And I think the 04 had to let the 27 go by as well. So then Patrick just let the leaders go by.
Look at this mess. Alex Gratz is 3 wide trying to get past lap cars.
This is crazy. The 31's in the wall.
31
and he's got heavy damage. Right front damage.
He has had one heck of a rough night. Let's see if we can get a look in at the side of his car.
Mike DiCarlo.
Yeah, Mike DiCarlo.
Right side definitely looks wrinkled up.
Bronson.
Not too much as you think. Yeah, go ahead.
Bronson has had something go wrong. Let's see.
Look at the right front, how that's a little bit bent in. That suspension.
Oh, Bronson is starting to blink worse.
That's not looking good. as he gets by the lap car of Stephen Wetton, has lost some time to Austin Edwards.
Huge shout out to Flaming Karma Paint Shop for all the awesome paint schemes and for sponsoring the replays. All the J&S cars, all painted up with that special logo, all done by Gerald Thanos Poole and the Flaming Karma Paint Shop.
Got to step aside and go to break. We have completed 252 laps. Luke Turpin leads Alex Gratz, Kendrick Cryer, Austin Edwards, and Jonathan Bronson. We'll step aside. We go side by side.
Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL Super Fan. Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL Super Fan. This race promises to be a doozy, so I'm getting boozy. Howdy, partner. I'm so excited for next week's event that I'm shaking. Totally different shakes. Howdy, partner. You're watching XCAL Racing.
We are back here at South Boston Speedway as Luke Turpin still leads here. We're just approaching 70 laps to go. No change amongst the top five. They're the only 5 cars on the lead lap. We continue to watch, though. This is actually a new battle we're watching. Second spot. I don't think they're going to pass each other still. Alex Gratz and Kendrick Cryer.
Yeah, I think these two are probably going to stick together the way they are. They've worked together really, really well, and Austin Edwards is catching up to him in 4th place. So you got to think these teammates are waiting for the boss to get there, and then they're going to take off toward the front. I imagine Austin probably has team orders. Hey, don't fight each other, work together until we get down to the last 20 laps or so. Plus Jonathan Bronson back there in 5th. The EHP cars might still be a little bit worried about that car.
While we are at it, let's take this opportunity to take a look at a full field rundown. Luke Turpin, we talked about him earlier with him in pre-race, 200 points down. Needs a really good day to get back in the title hunt, technically. I mean, technically, when you think about it, he still is. He is in at the race lead. You've got Alex Gratz in the 17. Oh my gosh, 3 wide with the Edwards boys. Woo!
Oh, that wasn't scary at all. As Edmund Jones is trying to make his way back, and Turpin is on pit road.
Luke Turpin, this is a big surprise. Final stop of the race comes in way before anybody else does. Let's talk about that real quick. Are you surprised by that?
No, because I just did the math in my head, and it's less than 70 laps. I have no doubt in my mind Luke Turpin can go the distance from here. But you know, Alex Gratz, Kendrick Cryer, and Austin Edwards got to be happy to see him on pit road right now.
They are your top 3, by the way, on the EHP side of things. Jonathan Bronson still having a great run in 4th position, continuing his hot streak. Alex Krepser, he's had a quiet run, but however, though, nice run. Still the first car lap down in 5th. Turpin is 6th. Blake Wynn currently in 7th. Edmund Jones running in 8th for the EHP team in a battle with PDJ Zeller for that position. But a tough race for Zeller despite being in 9th position as he looks to go around the outside. Jake Sylvia, he's had a great night so far tonight in the EHP 25. Doesn't run a lot of races, but running in the 10th position. Kyle Keller in his debut looked for a top 5 run and then got involved and then came in way too hot. Entering pit road, he runs in the 11th spot. Mason Foster is in the 12th spot trying to rebound after a wreck he had earlier tonight. Same with Matt Bear, who has not been happy with one guy, Connor Rockwood, who is in the pits. Zach Edwards trying to rebound from a penalty in the 14th position. Dwayne Robinson in 15th in the K&N 36. Devin Landry running in 16th position. Travis Sukup is in 17th. Greg Holz running in 18th. Kyle Bartles in 19th, been a rough, tough race for him. Hoping to have a late momentum charge. Jeff Fedger having a good run in the top half of the field in 20th. Good for where he normally runs.
And did you notice the front bumper on Edgar's car?
Beep, beep. Doesn't say F you to me. So, Doug, who's 21st through 41st?
Robert Colgan currently in 21st, and Connor Rockwood dropping as he's on pit road. Jonathan Bergeron now in 22nd. Sean Patrick currently running in 23rd, getting a little bit of the wall there. Jose Godino currently in 24th. Rockwood on his way out in 25th. Chris Johnson, not the usual performance we see out of that car. He is back in 26th. Mike DiCarlo continues marching forward, just trying to stay out of trouble here in 27th. Nicholas Seams currently in 28th. John Friley on pit road in 29th, and Derek Colson has had a rough night in 30th. Joe Campbell looked like a top contender early on, but now back in 31st. Keegan Alsop 32nd. Don Jordan in 33rd, dropping back just a little bit. Stephen Wedden is another driver that's had a rough night. He is in 34th. Sean Andrews in 35th. Brad Ebel currently running in 36th. Thanos on pit road in 37th. Art Hendren in 38th after his best qualifying run of the season. Here's a shocker. Jonathan Schwartz is out of the race. Schwartz in 39th, Tony Patterson in 40th, Aiden Kaiser in 41st, all out of the race.
The Bronson is pitted. Luke Turpin cycling through as the race leader. Now, something we have to think of as well in the final few laps, if this race goes green to the end, will tires be an advantage? Bronson with 11 laps of fresher tires, and he has passed Austin Edwards, Kendrick Cryer, and Alex Gratz with a great stop of a 42nd time on pit road. 23-second stop, and thinking about it, he may not have actually taken tires.
Yeah, you have to wonder about that move because it's just too short of a time. If he took tires, it was right sides only, which we did see quite a few drivers pull that one off. So we'll see how it plays out here tonight, but it's going to be interesting coming down to see the different strategies. We know Luke Turpin can go the distance. He wouldn't have pitted when he did. It's safe to assume everybody behind him who has pitted since lap about 270 can go the distance from here. If it stays green, things are going to get a little bit close on fuel though.
Let's go behind Turpin and show you a battle for 7th, literally behind him. Edmund Jones and Jake Sylvia. Jones doing work around the outside and using Jeff Edgar as a potential pick. We got sparks flying, though, down the back straightaway. Drivers just scraping the wall. I think it was Ebel in the 60, that just caught it.
Yeah, Sylvia and Edmund Jones teammates. Sylvia pulling ahead just a little bit here, finally getting clear, but Edmund not done yet, having one of his best runs of the season. He's had some great races and just problematic finishes, but looking tonight like he's got the consistency. Could we see him get his first top 10 of the season?
We'll have to find out. One still running that low side and just hoping the back markers go up to the outside of the racetrack. The next driver they are catching is still the 7 of Jeff Edgar. I believe Edgar's on fresher tires than them, no?
And I believe so. And Luke Turpin just lapped PDJ Zeller in 6th. So 5 cars remain on the lead lap, 3 of which are Edwards. Really surprised to see such a strong start from the J&S team, but I think they have had all the bad luck here tonight. Despite a really great early season, tonight has just not been the J&S team's night.
Zeller, the highest car on track of J&S, currently running in 6th position. Let's go to the battle for 2nd spot as Austin Edwards is starting to close in on Jonathan Bronson. They've been having a fun race together tonight, but I bet you we may see a couple of bumpers, couple of doors if this race goes green to the end with under 5 laps to go and they keep battling. Or if we get a late race restart, then we're going to see a lot of sparks fly.
Yeah, you got to hope that these guys can keep it clean, but regardless, once we get to that 5 to go, there will be no more cautions. That's when things really start to ramp up around here.
Riding on board with the 6th, with the 18, as he goes by the 37 of Kyle Keller. We got trouble in front of them.
Oh!
That's the 1, and the yellow is out. Woo, that got close.
Sean Andrews involved. Looks like Brad Ebel also involved. Let's see.
Edmund Jones.
Oh, the 04 just gets loose up into the wall.
Here's what happened. There was a big stack up. Bumper to bumper to bumper to bumper traffic. A traffic jam in South Boston at first. But you're right, the 04 got loose of Sean Andrews, who's been having a rough night tonight. And accordions the field.
Everybody.
Man, those Austin Edwards once again in a cold brown moment.
Yeah. He has had more than a few close calls here tonight.
So let's see here what drivers decide to do. Kendrick Cryer and Alex Gratz come on in. Those are the only 2 we know of at the moment. Gonna step aside and go to break. When we come back, we're taking you to the finish. We've got 40 laps to go this time by at South Boston. Stay with us.
Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. This race promises to be a doozy, so I'm getting loose. Howdy, partner. I'm so excited for next week's event that I'm shaking. Totally different shakes. Howdy, partner. You're watching XCAL Racing.
We are back with just about 35 laps to go. Don't forget, folks, to tune into next week for XCAL Racing's live coverage at Concord Speedway. Start time at 7:20 p.m. here on the world of how to suck at iRacing. Right now, we're still focused on SoBo with a $280 So purse. And we got 1 lap to green. Let's reset the field here for you. It's Austin Edwards and Luke Turpin on row 1. Jonathan Bronson on the outside. Him and Kendrick Cryer in row number 2. Matt Bear in 5th on the lead lap. Same with Alex Gratz. Sean Andrews got the black flag from the last yellow. Edmund Jones, Kyle Keller, Matt Bear were all waved around the pace car. Here we go to get back to the green flag. Again, it's on the green flag when Luke Turpin, and everybody can fire. There we go.
Off they go into turn 1. Turpin gets the advantage, but Austin not giving up and dropping to the bottom yet. He's going to try and pinch Luke Turpin down. That's exactly what he's doing.
Look at this. Look at this. Oh, I thought for a moment Cryer was about to make it 3 wide. However, though, he had a bad exit. Opens the door for Bronson to go for 3rd.
Yeah, and Bronson definitely wants to get up there and show the EHP drivers who's
Caution is
caution.
out. Colgan and Ebel. That is in turn number 1 and 2. And that will stack them once again, and that's going to help guys like the likes of Matt Bear to get back into this battle for the win. And this is all started when Ebo and Colgan got together.
Yeah, and several cars, including Jose Godino, get caught in that one.
Pardon me, that was Don Jordan that got into the back of Robert Colgan. That led to that stack up.
And like we said earlier, once things go haywire here in South Boston, they go haywire quickly. Although we have seen some great saves here tonight. I think a few of these guys it's late in the race. They can pick up a position here and there. Matt Bear is on pit road.
And that's a little bit of a surprise to me.
Yeah.
Because he would have had a chance to restart as inside row number 3 or something like that.
He's on his way back out, so he'll stay on the lead lap, and who knows, he might get waved back up to the front as lap cars drop back.
So taking a look here at where drivers were when we were looking at the battle for the lead, Turpin obviously was in front of Austin Edwards at the moment of caution, and Kendrick Cryer was in front of Bronson by a fender when the yellow flag came out. So we'll get a couple of more wave arounds. This should put PDJ Zeller, Alex Krapser, and Kyle Keller back on the lead lap at the tail of the field. Don Jordan gets the black flag. We're about to get the waves here shortly.
You know,
yeah, go ahead.
SoBo has the most first-time winners. But
Yes.
last season, we saw for the first time ever a rookie first race pull off the win at Texas with Josh Doobie.
Doobie.
Could Kyle Keller pull it off tonight? He'll be back on the lead lap, and you know.
Here's the thing, though. He'll need another yellow, though, if he wants to be up there with the front, because as he gets back on the lead lap, he'll have to restart at the rear of the field.
Yeah, but it's South Boston. I mean, you know, he may very well get that caution.
Absolutely. So we mentioned that yellow's going to help Matt Bear and Alex Gratz. They get to restart with the front of the field. There they are in row number 3. And I just listened to Matt Bear's radio. He's like, hello, whatever he said.
You know what? I have to think, based on pit stop time, I'm wondering if Matt Bear and Alex Gratz didn't take right side tires to give themselves a little bit of an advantage here, and could that play out?
We'll just have to see what happens. We're under 30 laps to go here at South Boston, and the intensity has just gone up a notch. Think about who you've got in this battle right now to win it. You have 3 Edwards high performance cars, 2 Matt Bear owned race cars, and then you've got Jonathan Bronson. Sorry, Floppa.
Well, we know old Floppa ain't afraid to use the bumper here tonight, so no.
All 6 of these cars, by the way, I'm sorry to interrupt you, all have a chance of winning it. One of those drivers looking for his first XCAL win, and that is Alex Gratz. We're back to green.
Off into turn 1 they go. Turpin gets the good jump again, and Kendrick Cryer passes the boss. He's going to bring Bronson with him.
And Edwards up in no man's land, but he was able to make the high side work last time on the restart, battling with Luke Turpin. This is what Turpin wants to see, that battle behind him. Bronson Edwards going at it for third position. Does Cryer, though, have anything for Luke Turpin at the moment? Cryer is yet to lead in this race under non-pit stop conditions.
Well, at the moment, he is holding pace with Luke Turpin.
Trouble, Sean Andrews and Gerald Poole have spun it. No caution. That is in turn number 4. Can they get him rolling? Yes, they can. Oh, boy. Poole letting the leaders go by and will stay under the green flag with just about 23. Nope, now the yellow's out.
Gerald has to check up for a slower car. Sean Andrews just has nowhere to go.
There was a spin. The bumper was given from the 25 of Jake Sylvia, and Gerald Poole is check in the thick of things.
Oh, man, that was, wow.
That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. And this is why you don't stop your car right there. Cue the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme song. PDJ Zeller, Robert Colgan, Kyle Keller, Alex Krapser. This is the big one at SoBo.
And that will wave, I believe, Edmund Jones, Jake Sylvia, and Zach Edwards back to the lead lap. So we've gone from 4 or 5 cars on the lead lap just 20, 30 laps ago to now we're going to have about a dozen.
And provided they won't have to pit, this will put Matt Bear, Alex Krapser, Kyle Keller, and PDJ Zeller in the front of the field. Edmund Jones, Jake Sylvia, Zach Edwards should get the waves. I don't think it'll be Sylvia, though, because he'll get a black flag, I think, for causing that wreck. I don't know if Edmund Jones was in that wreck either. Because as well, if you're involved in the wreck, you won't get a wave. If your car goes around, you won't get a wave.
Did not look like Edmund got caught up in that one. Let's see if we can go to where this started and watch Edmund. I believe he avoided most of the carnage that happened right in front of him. He almost saw it coming because he had a big checkup one turn before, backed out of it a little bit. And let's see, the caution, or the wrecking starts. They were actually 3 wide back behind. It all happens. Edmund actually checks up enough that he does. I don't believe he touched anybody in that mess.
He may have just clipped the front bumper of Zeller, but other than that, there's nothing. So, the waves go to Zach Edwards, Devin Landry, and Edmund Jones. So, Devin Landry catches a great break in all of that because Jake Sylvia gets the black.
Yeah, he really does. He's already up 25 spots tonight. After starting in 38th, up to 13th, he's having a great run already, and now he's going to have a shot at some of these other guys up front.
Something to keep in mind, by the way, in the XCAL Racing rulebook, with 10 laps to go, we have no more wave arounds if a yellow flag flies. With 5 laps to go, we've got no more yellows. We'll race it green to the finish no matter what happens. So again, we talked about the yellow helping those previous 3 guys that got the wave around. Alex Krapser, Kyle Keller, and PDJ Zeller are up with the front of the pack now.
Yeah, it's about to get really interesting up front.
Now let's see what Cryer has on the outside, but what about Bronson? He had a great restart and gained a position on that last restart. He could perhaps get up to second, and we know Bronson has something for Luke Turpin.
Yeah, he's definitely had a run all night. We have seen him send it to places most people would not even consider it. He definitely is hungry for a win here tonight, and it's going to be one to watch in the final laps.
Luke Turpin, Kendrick Cryer, row 1. Jonathan Bronson, Alex Gratz in row number 2. Austin Edwards, Matt Bear, row 3. Row 4, Alex Krapser, Kyle Keller. PDJ Zeller 9th, Edmund Jones is 10th as we get back to green to put 318 on the books, and we stack them up on the restart. As Luke Turpin gets them going, Bronson inside for second on Kendrick Cryer. Is that going to work off for turn 2? They're still door-to-door. Let's see where Alex Gratz plays in this factor. Bronson, though, on the clear on Kendrick Cryer. He's up to second. Yellow is out. Dwayne Robinson, Sean Patrick. And another melee breaks out once again. So the previous 3 that got waved now move them up to the front of the field.
Pace truck hadn't even gotten to his spot on pit road before anarchy occurs, and it looks like the 27 was the car where it all kind of started at. Let's see what happened here.
Greg Holmes was pretty much there on the hook, and that should go against him.
Yeah, Holes yeeted him around, and Sean on the brakes. You could tell he was trying to hold the car down, but just gets turned. Joe Campbell gets caught in this one as well.
I wonder if some of these guys decided they wanted to start celebrating 420 a little early because we got a demo derby happening.
Could be. I know for a fact that the 6th place car, he's celebrating.
So, Edmund Jones moves up into the lead lap. And now we should see Sylvia, Edwards, and Landry get another wave because they were 2 laps down previously. Pardon me, I think they were 2 laps down previously. They're 1 lap down now, and they should get the next round of wave rounds. And these will be the final waves. We are approaching 11 laps to go. We should get the restart with under 10.
Which means there will only be a couple of laps. We've only seen it happen one time where a caution has come out just well timed enough that when they restarted under 5 to go. That got a little bit more nuts than usual. Hopefully we will see it once they go green, stay green, but that last 5 laps at South Boston, always extremely exciting.
Racing incident being dealt to Sean Patrick and Greg Holes. They'll go to the end of the longest lines. We'll get the wave arounds right here. And it's once again Zach Edwards, Devin Landry, and Jake Sylvia that will get to go to the end of the longest line once again. They'll make 1 full circuit, and they should get back on the lead lap. And again, we are at 10 laps to go. Those are the final waves of the race.
So we restart with what, about 13 cars on the lead lap? But 3 of those will be at the very tail end.
We'll confirm here, and Sylvia does not get back on the lead lap. 12 drivers on the lead lap. 10 drivers a part of this pack that have a chance at winning this race right here, right now. We'll have about 6 laps to go or so. Again, 5 laps to go. Yellows are turned off. Jonathan Bronson got up another position to second, but Kenny passed Turpin on the outside. That's been a very rare move to see tonight. Austin Edwards made an attempt on it. It didn't work last time by. So about to see what happens here.
I would say anybody else could not make it happen on the high side, but I've seen Bronson do things here tonight that really were just nobody else in their right mind would try it. So, if anybody's going to pull it off, it's going to be Bronson.
South Boston, a track a lot like Lanier. You just don't know what's going to happen with 5 laps to go or under. What is going to happen? We are about to find out. Lap 326 goes up on the boards. We're back to green. Great restart from Luke Turpin. Bronson can get down on the inside just in front of Kendrick Cryer. He thinks about the bumper on Luke Turpin for the race lead, and that does not work yet.
No, but he's used that bumper. Oh, there he goes.
There he is. Once. Almost used it twice there. 6 to go.
Bronson's going for once, twice, 3 times the leader. There it goes.
On the exit. There's the block. Bronson on the side. We're coming to 5 to go.
Oh.
And Bronson gets loose.
He got bumped from Kendrick Cryer. Wonder if that's a little bit of payback from earlier in the race when his teammate was getting the bump quite often.
That's going to be big and help out Luke Turpin for sure. He's got a half-second lead. Will the field be able to make it up? I don't think they will. 4 to go.
Crapser's loose on the inside of Matt Bear. Matt Bear trying to make something happen. Up top, Turpin's got a 0.6 of a second lead now.
And Bear gets moved up by Krapser. PDJ Zeller also up on the outside. Kyle Keller looking for 6 in his debut. We've got 3 laps to go. Bronson's not able to close in on Luke Turpin. Turpin's going to have a major mess up if the 67 or 48 want to win.
And Turpin is not going to make a mistake here with 2 laps to go. He's going to come down and get the white flag. If he has to back out, he's got the room. No mistakes from here. He'll get the white flag this time.
White flag in the air. Final lap for Luke Turpin. Was second last week at the Pocono Road Course and came in just about 196 points behind Austin Edwards. Big momentum for Luke Turpin. Hole in one for Matt Bear, his owner. Bing bong. Luke Turpin takes the checkered flag. He wins at South Boston.
Bronson comes home second. Then it's an EHP third, fourth, and fifth. Kendrick Cryer, Alex Gratz, and Austin Edwards. Krapser just barely pulls off 6 ahead of Kyle Keller in his debut in 7th. Petey, another solid run in 8th. Edmund pulls off 9th, and the Mad Bear ends up 10th.
Luke Turpin gets to celebrate it, and I'm looking forward to the post-race conflicts if we have any. But Luke Turpin is taking her to victory lane once again. And for Luke Turpin, his second win of the season. First one came at USA. The competition is very high once again in XCAL Racing this season. 5th top 10 of the year for Superman.
And a big points night with Austin finishing 5th. Turpin's going to start to make up ground, and as you mentioned, he has the momentum now.
Absolutely. Bronson and Cryer, by the way, just a heads up, they are talking. And I don't think they're really too happy with each other.
You think? Probably not as unhappy as Alex Gratz is with Jonathan Bronson right now, but
we're going to talk with our third place finisher. Here we're going to the interviews, beginning with Kendrick Cryer. Kendrick, let's talk about those final laps here first off. Did you think you had a faster car than Bronson at the end?
I don't know. I mean, I was trying to get around him, but he kept parking the center when he was behind Turpin, and I tried moving him, and tried getting to him, then I was to him, and then he pulled away. It was interesting, but yeah, I was driving as hard as I could, obviously, but I'm pretty happy I pulled off a third. Definitely didn't have the speed of the leaders, but it was intense at the end.
Absolutely it was. I don't blame you. Just walk us through the entire day. You actually had a chance there for the race lead, and I don't even think you had led any laps either at all in this race.
No, I didn't lead any laps, but I was just kind of, me and Alex Gratz were just hooking bumpers the whole entire race, and we never let go of each other. We were freaking all the way the whole race, and look at how we finished. Really, really solid finishes, and a lot of wreck avoidance too. My goodness, that big one in the 1 where Austin got screwed in that, but it's all fun, and happy to 3-4 Alex, 5 Austin. It's pretty exciting.
hey, Kendrick, I got a question for you. There was a point in the race where Bronson and Gratz were, let's just say, having a little bit of a meeting, and you let Gratz by and dropped back in line right behind him. Was that a protective move for your teammate?
I was just, I don't know. I was just gonna let Alex do the dirty work, and he was a little faster than I was too there. But yeah, they were having a freaking pissing match, but it was pretty crazy there.
Well, it was a great run. Who do you want to give shout-outs to tonight?
I want to shout out Chris Johnson, Austin Edwards, Austin Team Owner, EHP Racing. I think Jacoby Waterproofing, Brewster's Lanes, Logan's Heroes, Southern Aprons, Thirsty Beaver. Really, really good race tonight. Who else am I getting? FK Rod Ends, JR Button Boxes, Mom and Dad, obviously. for putting up with me freaking screaming in my bedroom.
Well, we'll let you go, man. Great run tonight.
All right, thank you.
That's Kendrick Cryer, our third place finisher. We'll go to our second place finisher, Jonathan Bronson, with another great run. Doug's got him.
Bronson, I have to ask, did you reinforce that front bumper before the race?
No, I should have. I should have known better.
Man, you had a rough one, but I have to say that is probably some of the most aggressive, crazy driving when you drove up the middle mid-race, 3 wide. Austin just follows you through, but you just open a hole and pick up like 5 spots in a single lap. That was some seriously aggressive driving tonight.
I remember that specific moment too. I got really lucky there that no one came down, no one came up, and I was able to split the middle.
Well, man, it was a power move. We saw you driving more aggressively than I ever think we have seen you get out there. Can we expect more of that aggression as this season goes on?
Well, it depends. It depends the lap, the time, who's around me, where I'm running. I just wanted to get through to the field to the front, or I just wanted to. I'm pretty sure that was within the last 100 laps. I was trying to run Luke down, but other than that, I was trying my best just to go through the field. That's really all I can do at that point.
Man, it was a crazy run through the field. You and Alex Gratz had some interesting contact earlier in the race. Any hard feelings left there?
No. I kind of forgot about it after 10 laps. Just different driving style. I'm not going to try to adapt to the driving style the guy in front of me is using. So that's really all it was. And he punted me, but I wasn't giving back to him, but I really didn't get the chance because I was in front of him the whole time.
Well, man, a great run, a great second place finish tonight. Any team or sponsors you'd like to thank?
Mainly Higgins. Big shout out to Higgins for, paying my entry fee every week and my incident points, and PD. And those are really the main two. But other than that, there's not really anyone else in general besides everyone that helps out here and there.
Well, man, that was a heck of a run. Go celebrate with Higgins. I'm sure he's got a cold one for you.
I'm sure he does. Doug, I think you went to the wrong room.
String of couple of races ever since last win at USA, but you're finally back on top.
Yeah, man, it's been a little bit of a rough go. I feel like my driving's been really good, to be honest, to this point. I just had some bad luck, bad situations, couldn't quite get things to fall my way, and, that happens. And, the mumbling starts. The people start to say, is he the guy? Is he going to be that guy this year? And, is there the new kids are in town? Well, this was a statement. Remember, I'm the guy.
It absolutely was a statement. You are the guy. Walk us through those final restarts and what you were thinking. Cautions, breeding cautions. And I have a feeling you expected the bumper coming from Bronson.
No, I definitely did. And I'll give it to Bronson. He drove a lot cleaner than I almost expected him to. And he did a good job. And I'm glad he didn't destroy me. He could have. I'm glad he didn't. Either way, I wouldn't have really been too upset. I kind of knew it was coming, but he drove me clean, and I appreciate that. That was a big step up in his books, and overall a good race. Right at the end there, man, I was on old tires, and everybody came down and got tires. Bronson maybe was on a little older tires, but man, holding all those guys off, all those kids off, man, on 70, 80, 90 lap tires. Just a reminder for everybody.
Absolutely, it was. So next week we've got Concord. I know you're very good at that place. Just give us your expectations.
I mean, I'd like to come out and do the same. I show up every week, try to win. I'm not gonna say I don't. You just gotta kind of sometimes in these races, you just gotta let them come to you. I think I was trying to dictate the way the race went too much in the last couple races, which is why you probably saw me lead a lot at the beginning of the race, but kind of get caught out at the end. I kind of let this one come to me, and it did. And I'm probably going to play it like that a little moving forward.
Well, congratulations, man. Who do you want to give shout-outs to on your run tonight?
First of all, I got throw a big shout out to Big Bear, Mr. Bing Bong himself. He puts us in the show every week. Without his effort, I wouldn't be here because I don't really have the time to do what he does. So I really appreciate him. And Greg, our other teammate there, he puts in the work all week long. Like, you know, the weeks that me and Bear just don't want to deal with it, Greg is grinding. Man. Aaron for putting this whole show on. Kogan Enterprises on the hood, man. We got him a win early in the season. I was getting a little worried there. We weren't going to get another one real soon, but you know, we capped that off, and we look to be keeping him at the front, moving forward here. And you know, you guys, you put on these broadcasters. You guys don't have to do this stuff, and everybody that races in general, that shows up to race. I mean, it's just a good group of people that want to race. Not real happy how a certain team drove me all race long. They know who they are. But besides that, everybody that shows up to race is good fun, and we wouldn't be able to do it without everybody's involvement.
Well, enjoy this one, man. Win number 2. Congratulations.
Thank you, Marty.
So Luke Turpin takes the win and once again celebrate in Fuel Factor X Victory Lane. Give you your official results here from tonight. Luke Turpin takes home the win. Jonathan Bronson finishes in 2nd. Kendrick Cryer 3rd. Alex Gretz finishes in 4th. 5th position, belongs to Austin Edwards. Alex Krapser 6th. Kyle Keller 7th. PDJ Zeller 8th. Edmund Jones 9th. Matt Bear rounds out the top 10. Zach Edwards 11th. Devin Landry, the final car on the lead lap, in 12th. Jake Sylvia 13th. Dwayne Robinson 14th. Blake Wynn 15th. Mason Foster 16th. Jonathan Bergeron 17th. Kyle Bartos 18th. Connor Rockwood 19th. Sean Patrick 20th. Greg Holes is 21st. Jose Gaudino 22nd. Chris Johnson 23rd. Jeff Edgar 24th. Nicholas Seams 25th. Joe Campbell 26th. John Fraley 27th. Keegan Alsop 28th. Mike DiCarlo 29th. Robert Colgan finishing in 30th. Doug?
Don Jordan comes home 31st with Stephen Wedden in 32nd. Derek Colson has a rough night in 33rd. Sean Andrews 34th. Brad Eagle finishes 35th. Gerald Thanos Poole in 36th tonight. Travis Sukup 37th. Art Hendren in 38th. Jonathan Schwartz finishes 39th. Troy Patterson 40th. And Aiden Kaiser, out early with computer issues, finishes 41st.
Let's give you the bonus points. First off, starting from pole position in the feature was Austin Edwards, so he'll get 5 bonus points thanks to that. Leading a lap, getting 5 bonus points. Luke Turpin, Jonathan Bronson, Alex Gratz, Austin Edwards, Kyle Keller, Zach Edwards, and those were the only drivers that led. 6 different leaders, 14 lead changes in the night. They all get 5 bonus points. Getting an additional 5 bonus points is Luke Turpin with 205 laps that were led. Fastest lap in the feature was Alex Gratz with a 15.822. He gets an additional 5 bonus points. And the hard charger of the race from the 38th position, I think I have my math right, from 38th up to 12th, Devin Landry in the 131, getting 5 bonus points for the hard charger. So with that, we will say farewell as we go to our next race next week at the Concord Speedway. Only 3 corners here. Doug, what should we expect for this one?
It's more banked than Pocono. It's tighter than Pocono. It's still a triangle, but it's a lot trickier than Pocono. It's going to be a lot of strategy play and a lot of chaos.
Absolutely. So we will do this here for tonight, and that will do it for us here. On behalf of everyone at XCAL Racing, shout out to all of our sponsors from the XCAL Racing Web Shop, Sim Racer Hub, Butt Kicker, Higgins the XCAL Spotter Pack. I feel like I'm forgetting a whole lot more, as well as Fuel Factor X. And yes, again, Flaming Karma Paint Shop too. And again, we have a whole lot more, but we appreciate those sponsors for our support. On behalf of everyone at XCAL Racing, our president, Aaron Hillebush, Vice President PDJ Zeller, and all of their senior admins. On behalf of my broadcast partner, Doug Burns, I am Marty Sakala signing off. Congratulations to Luke Turpin, his 2nd win of the season, and it comes in the XCAL Racing Web Shop 333 at South Boston Speedway. So long, everyone.
Bye.